Well, an explosive war has erupted over the Election Commission announcing 8-phase Bengal poll schedule. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has launched a blistering attack on the Election Commission and the BJP, questioning whether the poll dates were finalized after consulting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She also asked whether the 8-phase polls are being held to benefit the BJP. TMC MP Derek O'Brien also didn't mince words, asking whether the poll panel was being meddled with. Remember, Bengal will witness polls in 8 phases from the 27th of March to the 29th of April, with several districts voting over phases.
আমি সর্বভারতীয় ইলেকশন কমিশনকে আমার অনেক অনেক অভিনন্দন, ধন্যবাদ এবং মোবারকবাদ জানাচ্ছি, বাধাই জানাচ্ছি যে তারা 5টা রাজ্যের ইলেকশন অ্যানাউন্স করেছে। বাংলায় 294টা সিট, 8টা ফেজে ইলেকশন কেন? কাকে সুবিধা করে দেওয়ার জন্য? একটু তো রেশনাল থাকবে ইলেকশন কমিশন। We want election commission, we have a highest regards. Now, like election commission, the important body, if they don't give justice to the state and the people, then where the people will go? So our request would be, please see, BJP has the agency power, BJP has the government of India power, but one central government cannot misuse their own power for a state election. And if you do it like this, if you allow it like this, then there will be a big, big blunder. And then you have to face the music. We are not. We the common people, we will fight out our battle. But I will request the election commission, stop misuse of the money. BJP already sent the money on the district through all the agencies.
ये इनका जो नेत्री है ममता बनर्जी ने भी बोल रहा है कि खेला होबे। खेला होबे का मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब इन लोगों ने समझ गया कि इनका पास अभी जनता का सपोर्ट नहीं है, आम जनता इनका पीछे नहीं है। इन्होंने जो भी कुछ बोल रहा है ये आम जनता के ऊपर इसका कोई असर नहीं हो रहा है, तो इसलिए ये फिर वोट लूट करने के लिए बोल रहे हैं। ये निष्पक्ष निर्वाचन नहीं हो उसके लिए बोल रहा है। निर्वाचन कमीशन को हम लोग बोले हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी से, और हमको लग रहा है कि निर्वाचन कमीशन इस बार ऐसा चुनाव करेंगे जो निष्पक्ष रूप से हो, आबाद हो, शांतिपूर्ण हो, और जनता ने राय दान करने से इसमें ये सरकार परिवर्तन जरूर होगा।
Issue of conducting election in 8th phase or 7th phase or 6th phase is immaterial, but the way election is announced, dividing a district in part 1, part 2, that whether that was necessary or not, I can't pass comment now, but that the reasons behind the decision of part 1, part 2 in a district is remain a questionable issue.
Now, with the dates for the Battle Royal announced, the political temperatures are only going to heat up further in Didi's turf. Will Didi hold her ground, or will BJP make inroads in Bengal?
Jai Shri Ram! Jai Jai Shri Ram!
খেলা তো হবেই রে, খেলা তো হবেই, এবং এই খেলা থেকেই বিজেপিকে ঠিক করতে হবে आगामी दिन देशे থাকবে কি থাকবে না।
ये बंगाल के अंदर माहौल ऐसा कर दिया कि जय श्री राम बोलना माने गुनाह है।
बीजेपी एक क्या है? वॉशिंग मशीन है। काला चोर जाते हैं और वॉशिंग मशीन में सफेदों के चला आता है। यही बीजेपी का पार्टी का काम है।
हम बंगाल की तस्वीर और तकदीर बदल डालेंगे। डबल इंजन की सरकार लानी होगी, ऊपर मोदी जी की सरकार होगी, नीचे भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार होगी।
Clash of the Titans, a war of ideologies. Bengal is the election India is watching. Riding the wave of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity and Hindutva, the BJP, which had just 3 seats in 2016 Assembly, is mounting an audacious bid for power in Kolkata. From Mukul Roy to Suvendu Adhikari, the BJP has posed several stalwarts from the TMC. But the Saffron Party still has a big hurdle to cross: Mamata Banerjee herself.
बीजेपी
बीजेपी का पार्टी का भी बहुत हमारा पार्टी में ज्वाइन किया। ये चुनाव का टाइम में होता है, उसी के लिए थ्रेट के लिए 2-4 गया है, जो गया है हमारे लिए अच्छा है। हम सफेद हो गया है, बीजेपी वॉशिंग मशीन में सफेद हुआ है, लेकिन बहुत काला हुआ है, काला मुख और काला हुआ है।
Mamta has already taken up the challenge, vowing to defeat her former general Suvendu Adhikari in his seat Nandigram.
अब हम बहुत सारे काउंटर क्लेम सुन रहे हैं कि नंदीग्राम में क्या होगा। एक कहता है कि हम दीदी को हटा देंगे। अमित शाह ने आज कहा कि दीदी अपनी खुद की सीट नहीं बचा पाएंगी नंदीग्राम।
उसको लड़ने बोलिए ना उधर में, जैसे होम मिनिस्टर का बात करते हैं ना, शोभा नहीं देता। उसको बोलिए इधर में लड़ने के लिए, अगर वो जीत जाएंगे तो उसको हम स्वराष्ट्र मंत्री बना देगा बंगाल का।
1.5 लाख ভোটে যদি মাননীয়াকে হারাতে না পারি, আমি রাজনীতি ছেড়ে দেব, আমি রাজনীতি ছেড়ে দেব, আপনি লিখে রাখুন।
What makes it a battle of survival for Mamta is Bengal's penchant for long reigns. Parties elected to power stay in power for long. And Mamta is leaving no stone unturned. To counter BJP's Hindutva, her party has taken up Bangla Pride.
आदर्श पुरुष, मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम एक राजा गांधी जी ने राम राज्य का कल्पना हमको दिया है। दुर्गा पता नहीं कहाँ से आ जाते हैं। दुर्गा तो भगवान राम की आराध्य थी।
মা দুর্গার কোনো ভ্যালু নেই, রামই সর্বা। এদের লজ্জা হয় না? যারা নারীদের সম্মান দেয় না, যারা নারীদের লাঞ্ছিত, বঞ্চিত, নিপীড়িত, অত্যাচারিত, শোষিত করে রাখে।
What makes the 2021 Bengal election a battle royale indeed is the fact that in 10 years, Mamta Banerjee's regime is facing its stiffest challenge from the duo of Modi, Amit Shah and the entire might of their election juggernaut. Mamta Banerjee alleges that Modi and Amit Shah duo are using the might of the central government to dethrone her from her citadel here in West Bengal. With camera person Raju Inamdar, Indrajit for India Today in Kolkata.
All right, and scooter rides seem to have become a new flashpoint in poll-bound West Bengal after Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee, BJP leader Smriti Irani was seen riding a scooty while taking part in the party's Paribartan Yatra. The union minister led a bike ride rally while campaigning in Sonarpur. This did not go down well with the TMC leadership because state TMC minister Sujit Bose mocked the union minister and said people from other states follow the trends of Bengal. Responding to the accusations of copying Didi's protests for fuel prices hike, Smriti told India Today that she did whatever her party workers wanted her to and that the TMC reacted in a childlike manner over this issue.
जो हमारा ममता बनर्जी करता है, कल तो देखा है ना आप, डीजल पेट्रोल का दाम जो बढ़ता है, इसके लिए कल ई स्कूटर, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स जो स्कूटर है वो चला है। तब हम लोग तो सभी बोलते हैं, बंगाल का देख के सब करते हैं। जो आज हम लोग करेगा दूसरा बाद में दूसरा स्टेट करता है, कोई आदमी स्टेट का आदमी करता है।
मुझे लगता है कि इस प्रकार की बचकाना एक रिएक्शन ये उनको नहीं सुहाता जो अपने आप को राजनीति में दिग्गज समझते हैं। क्या मेरा स्कूटी चलाना नया है? शायद उनके पास जानकारी का अभाव है, इसीलिए नहीं जानते कि पहले भी मैं जहाँ भी ज़रूरत पड़ी है अपने कार्यकर्ताओं के साथ, चाहे वो पैदल यात्रा करनी हो या स्कूटर पर अथवा रथ यात्रा में शरीक होना हो, ऐसा मैं कर चुकी हूँ। लेकिन हाँ, मुझे इस बात की खुशी है कि मेरे कामों को इतनी बारीकी से तृणमूल कांग्रेस देख रही है।
Now, with poll dates for Tamil Nadu Assembly elections also out, the war for the top posts is heating up. The two chief minister contenders, Edappadi Palaniswamy and M.K. Stalin, will have to prove their worth as leaders, as it's the first time either of the two are leading the party single-handedly in an assembly election. Here's why 2021 elections in Tamil Nadu will be nothing less than historic.
The election in Tamil Nadu this time will be nothing less than historic. The first state polls after the deaths of arch rivals Karunanidhi and Jayalalitha will be crucial to the futures of the two parties they nurtured and Dravidian politics that has left no room for national parties in the state. The two chief ministerial contenders, incumbent Edappadi Palaniswamy and challenger M.K. Stalin of the DMK, will have to prove their worth as leaders. It's the first time either of the two will be leading their party single-handedly in an assembly election. Palanisamy has the tough task of beating 10 years of anti-incumbency against the AIADMK. For Stalin, it's now or never. With no role in the centre and out of power in the state for a decade, Stalin has no option but to win. This is indeed a fight for relevance and survival. His victory is crucial to the UPA too, as the DMK is among the biggest critics of the Narendra Modi-led NDA. On Friday, he took on the Prime Minister, who had described the DMK and Congress as the alliance of the corrupt.
சமீபகாலமா தமிழக புதுவையில பாஜகவில சேர்ந்துகிட்டு இருக்காங்களே அவங்க பின்னணி என்ன? நான் வாய் பிடிச்சதோ மாங்காய் பிடிச்சன்னு பேச மாட்டேன். எதையும் ஆதாரத்தோட தான் பேசுவேன். மோடி மாதிரி எல்லாம் எதை வேணாலும் பேசிட்டு நான் போயிட மாட்டேன். நான் கலைஞருடைய மகன் ஸ்டாலின். எதையும் ஆதாரத்தோட தான் பேசுவேன்.
The biggest X factor in the contest, the return of VK Sasikala. Chinnamma, as she's known, the closest aide of Jayalalitha, could decide which way the state goes. It is not clear so far if she will bid to take control of the AIADMK or tie up with them or fight alone.
Why is there desperation to go back to ADMK? Can't Chinnamma be the face of your party and win elections?
It is our property. It is say all the cadres who are with us, who stood on the road, no, on the day. What do you think about them? They are all waiting for us. They are with us, not for anything. They want to retrieve their party.
Whatever the result, these elections will be a turning point for the state of Tamil Nadu. With Pramod Madhav and Akshay Nath in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
And after Prime Minister Modi's scathing attack on DMK-Congress alliance ahead of Tamil Nadu Assembly elections, DMK chief M.K. Stalin has hit back. In a counter-attack, Stalin alleged that those joining BJP in recent times have criminal background. Taking a dig at the Prime Minister, Stalin said he is Kalaigna's son and says nothing without proof, essentially. Stalin has also read out the list of people in the Saffron Party with multiple criminal cases against them. This comes after the Prime Minister targeted the DMK-Congress alliance, saying the two parties promoted strongman culture in Tamil Nadu. He also alleged that meetings held by DMK and Congress was to brainstorm over how to loot people.
சமீபகாலமா தமிழக புதுவையில பாஜகவில சேர்ந்துகிட்டு இருக்காங்களே அவங்க பின்னணி என்ன? புளையந்தோப்பு பெண் தாதா, கஞ்சா வியாபாரி அஞ்சல. அடுத்து நம்பர் 2 கல்வெட்டு ரவி, 6 முறை குண்டர் சட்டம், 8 கொலை வழக்கு உள்ளிட்ட 30 குற்ற வழக்குகள் இருக்கு. நான் வாய் பிடிச்சதோ மாங்காய் பிடிச்சன்னு பேச மாட்டேன். எதையும் ஆதாரத்தோட தான் பேசுவேன். மோடி மாதிரி எல்லாம் எதை வேணாலும் பேசிட்டு நான் போயிட மாட்டேன். நான் கலைஞருடைய மகன் ஸ்டாலின். எதையும் ஆதாரத்தோட தான் பேசுவேன்.
Let's now listen to what the Prime Minister had said against the DMK and the Congress during his rally in Coimbatore on the 25th of February.
DMK and Congress meetings are like corruption hackathons. Their leaders sit and brainstorm how to loot. Those who give most innovative ways are given posts and ministries. DMK ruled Tamil Nadu for many years. Congress was in center for many years. Yet, these parties were not bothered about the demands of the Devendra Kulla Vellalar community. It was the AIDMK government in Tamil Nadu and the BJP-led NDA government at the center that accepted their long-standing demand to be known as Devendra Kulla Vellalar.
Shifting focus now, well, let's talk about the COVID-19 situation, especially in the state of Maharashtra, because it's worrisome indeed. The state recorded more than 8,000 cases for the third straight day. A total of 8,333 cases were added to the state's COVID tally just yesterday. The state also witnessed 48 COVID deaths. Mumbai alone reported over 1,000 new cases, 3 deaths in a span of 24 hours. Maharashtra now accounts for over 60% of India's active cases, and the recent COVID spike is the highest since the month of October. Maharashtra government has appealed to people to follow COVID-appropriate behavior to contain the virus spread, with the Chief Minister warning of a lockdown if cases continue to rise. Welcome back. Well, days after India and China pulled back their troops from strategic heights of Pangong Tso, the foreign ministers of both India and China held their first formal telephonic conversation yesterday that lasted for 75 minutes. Here are the details.
Days after disengagement began at the Pangong Lake in eastern Ladakh, External Affairs Minister of India S. Jaishankar spoke to his Chinese counterpart and in a 75-minute discussion addressed the situation in the standoff zone. In the discussion, both sides agreed to set up a hotline for timely communication on important issues. Minister Jaishankar also proposed 3 mutuals: mutual respect, mutual sensitivity and mutual interests. There was a detailed discussion on the eastern Ladakh situation and the disengagement that's currently ongoing in Pangong Tso and will begin soon elsewhere.
The Chinese foreign minister, on the other hand, spoke of the larger picture of looking at India-China relations not from the prism of only border issues. The two sides have decided to establish a hotline, and that certainly is forward movement.
The talks between the foreign ministers has brought hope of perhaps the beginning of the end of a year-long freeze at the line of actual control. But will these talks lead to a further de-escalation along the frontier? The focus is on disengagement next along Hot Springs, Gogra, Depsang and Demchok.
Currently, situation is not volatile there. There are no troops, amassed on other side like we were, sitting here on the North Bank and South Bank and Razangna Chinla. So it has been agreed as one of the friction points, and post the disengagement that is happening now, we will sit down and discuss and resolve that issue as well. Like I said, the area of listening perception is the maximum there. When our patrols go, they give us a face-off. They do not allow us to go up to our claim line, and we also not allowing them to go up to their claim line.
The discussion between Jaishankar and Wang Yi has given hope of a breakthrough after months of strained ties and a military situation between the two countries.
A military and diplomatic dialogue continues between the two countries, but there is also a trust deficit between the two armies on the ground. This is something that has also been pointed out by Indian Army Chief General M.M. Naravne. While an initial disengagement has taken place, there is still a long way to go before de-escalation takes place across eastern Ladakh. With Geeta Mohan, Abhishek Bhalla in New Delhi for India Today.